Castlevania Bloodlines. All caps. Signify the importance. What's the good? What's the good for this going on? Enemy variety is 100%, or maybe, I want to say like with the franchise, unique enemies for the series. I don't know. That's kind of a long way to put that. There we go. I don't want to go listen to a podcast about how she murdered people. So, what else we got going on here? What do you guys like about Castlevania Bloodlines? I think that's what really stood out to me, was like the unique enemies for the series kind of thing. Snappier? I guess the whip is like kind of inherently a different thing in the Super Famicom game, right? Stage variety. Plays different types of characters, access different parts of the page, excellent music. Okay. I'll need additional vouching for the other characters because I don't know much about that. If anyone else has anything I want to say about that. Music is pretty good. Okay. Mr. T, I would say I think I'm a little underwhelmed by this game visually. I mean, again, I don't know what's going on with the Genesis, but I don't particularly think this is like a great looking 16-bit game. I would say this looks kind of like some, to me, like I know it's not, but to me it kind of reminds me of like how a Master System game looks to me in some ways. So, impressive visual effects for the system. That's a good point. That they do, maybe it's like creative use of visual effects. The visual effects, because like I don't necessarily know if anything, like, again, I don't know the Genesis super well, but like this game just doesn't read as like super great looking to me, but I could definitely see like the visual tricks kind of stuff standing out with like the rotating boss stage and the split level stuff and things like that. And yeah, I don't know if many Genesis games had like any bonus chips. I know like Virtua Racing did. I'm sure games did, but I feel like, wasn't there like some issue with the Genesis where like, I think maybe they didn't like build in some extra like pins or something that they needed for certain, like to do that easily or something. I don't remember what it was. I feel like I was reading something about this recently and it was like the Genesis just didn't have these like extra pin set built in for like basically sending extra data kind of thing, but I could be getting that entirely wrong. So, ton of bosses. I feel like I guess there's like a bunch of mid bosses too, right? For me, I feel like the bosses kind of fall into like the unique enemies / bosses kind of thing. Page variety. Creative use effects. Two different playstyles. Something like that. Is that like a pretty good set for you guys? Unique bosses for the bosses / enemies for the series. Stage design, excellent. Just excellent on its own. It's just excellent, baby. Music. I feel like I usually like to do something like that, kind of identifies better music if we can, but I think it's good music. Creative use of visual effects in 2 different play styles. Hey Zero, how's it going? You agree, Zero. Zero, have you ever played Castlevania Bloodlines in your life? All right. We're not locked in yet, so if you got any extra good, we can do that. I know, Zero. I'll say, I don't know if you've ever played a Castlevania game before. The bad. I think some of the sprite work is janky, personally. Kind of simple, maybe is the better way to put it. Bit simple. I think like the staircases look weird. I think the characters maybe lacked a lot of detail. The like stair climbing animation's kind of strange. I think there could have been a lot more done for the visuals, like on that sort. Laggy controls. The levels are very long. They probably could have been broken up in half. Part of me wants to be like, I think the kind of weird like thing with me at that is that like, I feel like part of the reason why I don't like the levels are so long is because the lack of health, whatever, there's a lot of dust on this microphone stand. Lack the health upgrades. But I also like am streaming, so I wasn't paying enough attention. So like after like the second level of the game, I did not ever see another crack in my entire life, basically. So there could have been health upgrades that I was just walking by because I'm streaming this video game. But yeah, it did feel like kind of a gauntlet on some of these stages. So with limited continues, yeah. The unfortunate thing about the limited continues, because I'm using save states, that it's like kind of that that part of it gets kind of like buried a little bit. Limited continue. Let's say this: limited continues. Use save states, because we did use save states, and I think it's good to note that if we're going to complain about that aspect of the game to some degree, because I don't feel like we did not directly rub up against the limited continues in a way that I would have been able to experience that, I guess, at the very least. So I want to make sure that we note that at least. What else? You said it was like laggy, right, Joshua? I don't know if it felt laggy to me, although there is like some funkiness with the controls, like not being able to turn around when you're crouched is a little weird. And I also feel like the like super jump would get in the way sometimes when I'm like on the ground trying to do stuff. Yeah, maybe it's a little like stiff. Controls a little stiff. And that's the best way to put that. I know it's like very video gamey kind of language there, but or video game reviewy kind of language, but we are doing a review, I guess. So boss rush was unnecessary. I don't have a problem with the boss rush, really. Admittedly, again, we are, you know, using save states, right? So anything else? Sprite work is a bit simple. Limited continues. Controls are a little stiff. Yeah, and it's worth mentioning I am playing this on the PS4 as well, so I don't know if there's any kind of difference that would have came from that or what. But I'd say to me it felt more stiff than it did like laggy or anything like that for input lag. We can definitely probably put the levels a little too long, maybe. I don't necessarily have a problem with that, but I think for me it kind of probably falls a little bit more into like the health pacing, but again, with the streaming, I don't feel comfortable complaining too much about that, so. Anything else? Any other bad? Are there any other bads I can think of? Bosses. Was there anything bad about the bosses? I don't think so. Like, the most frustrating part of the game was that one hallway for me, which was very doable, but it just was a lot. But I don't think there's anything that specifically was wrong with that hallway. It just had a lot going on. Was there an issue with, like, difficulty curve at all? I do feel like the middle of the game was harder than the end of the game. But I don't know. I don't feel like it was like that much harder though. The Switch version of the Anniversary Collection. Oh, you have the Switch version, yeah. Yeah, I don't know like what the versions are and if they're like that different from each other. My assumption is that a lot of these modern collections probably are at parity with each other overall. Whether those are good representations is a whole other thing, right? But I'd imagine like, you know, between PS4, Switch, and all that stuff, most of this stuff should probably run all right. Switch is obviously going to be kind of a weird grab bag situation sometimes. But I feel like most of the problems with the Switch are like more intensive 3D games from like that are being remade, right? And then like a Star Wars PS2 game or something like that. Or if it's like a 2D game built from the, like, that's a new 2D game that might not be, like, it's one of those things like where like everyone like looks at a 2D game like, oh, that looks like it should run really super easy or something like that. But apparently, you know, video games don't work that way, right? And then so you have to, you know, what's running underneath the game is a lot more intensive than like older video games at times, right? So yeah, okay. Well, I think this is probably good for what we got going on right here. So let us go to the final review. Let me fix this a little bit. The good. Do we have any music here? You guys want dramatic music? Is dramatic music playing? I might not have dramatic music. Oh, there it is. Brittle. Let me get rid of the stamp. There we go. Stamp is gone. Fix the text up here. Nope, that's everything. Game name. Good enough for now. 5 stars. Anyone else got any things? I gotta think of the rating for me. Let me throw it over there for now. 1 out of 5. Although we also do halvesies if you want to. Castlevania Bloodlines box art. We'll go with the American box art. Featuring this hunk, featuring Raul. This is a bad scan of the box art, but we'll live. Oh, I have a Japanese box art. Or no, the European box art. Europeans represent! Uh-oh, don't move that. Don't move that! Where's the box? There's the box. Europeans represent! I'm just destroying everything, just trying to move this dang box. Okay. Europeans. All right. All right. Europeans also, we're going to be visited by this very special friend. He was like, you know, I can't. Where is he? Where is our very special friend? Is this our very special friend? No. Okay, here, the file name unknown.png. Where are you gonna go, very special friend? I don't really have a space for you. It's all right. Come here, buddy. Get up in there. It's all right. We'll get there, Mr. T. We'll get there. I've got other more important things going on right now, Mr. T. All right, then I got to make sure his layering is correct. So he will go under the stamp. Very important things happening. All right, I need to read your scores as well. I have nothing. No. Where'd he go? Oh, he's in the stamp. I don't want that. Get out of there. Get out of there. I want you above the review text. Okay, there we go. Perfect. Anyways, let's there we go. It's a beautiful looking page right now. All right. Let me go into here. We'll modify the bad. We're gonna just drop that down a little bit, I think. Does that work? I can't see it right now. That works enough. Good enough for me. All right. All right. Let me look at your scores. Okay, Mr. T's got a 5, so we're at the 5 range. Oscar, I'm gonna put you for a 4.5, Oscar, right? If you're willing to go with the 4.5, believe in it, man. Go all the way. And then Joshua says like a 4. So I'd say we're probably floating around a 4.5. What about myself? Where am I at? Where am I at with this video game? This is the one problem with doing a community review right after, is because I haven't thought about this now. And I feel like that my accuracy right here of like what I actually feel is gonna be hard. My brain is telling me like a 3.5 right here. We will not go to 3.5, but that's my vote, I think. I'm trying to think if like a 3.5 feels a little weird though with this game. Let me look at my bad. Sprite work is a bit simple. Limited continues. Controls are a little stiff. Levels are a little too long. I don't think that bothers me that much. If I went to a 4, I'd probably drop us just like a 4.5, I think. Like, I think that would be a reasonable place to be. But being a 3.5, I feel like I might... How many 4s do we got? Alvi, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. 4, 4, 4. We got double 4, a 5, and a 4.5. And a 3.5. Alright, I think it probably, like, as much as I want to, like, raise it up to a 4, because I kind of feel like right now, in the moment, when I read this list here of the bad, I don't feel like it's a 3.5, but I think my heart is telling me a 3.5 right now. So, I think we're gonna go with a 4 then. Put it right there, maybe. That seems somewhat fair. I think that's fairly reasonable, at the very least. All right, are we ready to give Raul the stamp of truth? Let him carry. You guys ever see the Hokuto no Ken episode with what's his name? Shoot, what is his name? The blind guy. Shu on the top of the mountain, and then Salzer is like making Shu hold the what's it called on top of the mountain, the big like rock piece, and it's like coming down on him. He's bleeding, and then he sees again, and then he sees Kenshiro right before he dies. There's some spoilers for you. Beautiful. All right. Uh-oh, did the stamp not work? Hey buddy, I would love a stamp. Let me do this. Where's my stamp at, buddy? Raul is under the stamp. I can confirm that much. What's going on? Oh, I think I see the problem. Okay. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. And then I think this should fix it. There we go. Let me... We can see Raul underneath there. There we go. 4.0 out of 5. That's like an 8, man, right? That's how 5-star scores work. Right? Well, that was fun. I think I more or less kind of expected what I got out of it. But I did enjoy it. So I definitely will play through on Morris, and maybe like I'll feel a little better about the game after playing through Morris. But like I didn't dislike the game either. I think it was like a above average Castlevania game for me. Let me see if I can pull up my ranking list actually real quick. I'm curious what I ranked Castlevania. Let me see if I can figure out where that would go on there. Let's go to my podcast. It's hidden now because I hide podcasts. No, that one should be shown. Castlevania. Ranking of Castlevania games. All right, did I provide pictures of this? I don't think I did. So I gotta open up the video. Yeah. Cat is desperate. This done. Okay, yeah, this is wrap up. This is gonna be really, really janky. Don't worry too much about it. Also, I gotta save it. No, do not replace unknown. Ranking. This is why I have like files all over my PC, because I'm just like, I just gotta drop it somewhere. I'm gonna throw no name on it, and it's gonna be an adventure. The Castlevania adventure. Alright. It's me. All right, what do we have going on right here? Let's see what was our list here. All right. S rank. Okay. Okay. I agree with this S rank tier. I forgot there was an S rank. That's why I thought my brain when we were talking about it earlier, Alvi, about like Lords of Shadow 2 being higher. I think I thought it was an S rank, and so I was like, I'm surprised I put it that high. But all right. Agreed. Agreed. All those are agreed. Portrait of Ruin. Portrait of Ruin seems a little high, but sometimes that's just how you feel in the moment, right? Dracula's Curse. Dracula's Curse is good. I think this is the same game right here, right? I just put two of the same game on that list for some reason. Okay, Dracula X. I would probably put it like in this A range. I think it is in the A's. Purple of the Moon. Man, this is a hard list. Like, some of these games I do really like. So, I can see why I probably struggle with this list. Word of Ecclesia, A, really? I'm kind of surprised at that. See, like, here's the problem with me ranking games. Like, later on, I think about it, I'm like, Word of Ecclesia, no, that's a B game. What's that doing at A? Maybe, for me at least. I know people like Word of Ecclesia. But, for me, that's probably like a B. Yeah, I think, like, in here, probably, like, snugly between, like, Castlevania 3 and Dracula X for the PSP. I think that's a reasonable place for it. So that'd be in the A range. In my opinion. I suppose. But I gave it a 3.5. Anyways. Video games are done. We're done with them for now.